Application forms for sharing accommodations must be completed 2 months in advance.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Smart cities are emerging as major engines for deploying intelligent systems to enhance urban development. In developing economies facing rapid urbanization and technical change, new cities are being built with smart technologies and ideals, complete with business districts and residential facilities to entice businesses and talents to relocate. Governments taught the potential of such greenfield smart cities for innovation and sustainability. The use of technologies for the inclusion and empowerment of persons with disabilities is not new, from the creation of Braille and the first hearing aid to the invention of the wheelchair. For disabled persons, new assistive technology can make all the difference, while technology and innovation are breaking down the barriers to achieving full participation. Over the past 5 years, through studies of the simplest conceivable clocks, the researchers have discovered the fundamental limits of timekeeping. They have mapped out new relationship between accuracy, information complexity, energy, and entropy. The quantity whose incensed rise in the universe is closely associated with the arrow of time. Misinformation is everywhere. It can be spread inadvertently if people make a genuine mistake. In today's environment, people get much of their news from social media, which lacks gatekeepers and therefore allows misinformation to spread fast and wide. People are being bombarded with information, and it has become difficult for them to separate fact from fiction. Despite the youthful outward appearance, inside the cat will be getting older. It is much easier to understand how to manage our cat's lives, health and behavior if we can associate their age with an equivalent of our own human years. It has often been suggested that we simply need to multiply a cat's age by 7 to get a comparative human age. The Spanish language has a rich and complicated history. It has navigated the rise and fall of great empires, has been a symbol of cultural identity, and has both been used as a tool of unity and caused considerable divisiveness. Today, it is the world's second most spoken native language and is used by people in all corners of the globe.
It is important to cite examples to support your argument.
It is important to set examples to support your arguments.
The monarchy in England has played an important role in modern British culture.
The monarchy in England has played an important role in the monarchy of England.
Those suffering from infectious diseases are separated from other patients.
Those suffered from infectious diseases are separate from others.
For weeks, the country has been building up a national basketball team.
For weeks, the country has been building a basketball court.
Lack of sleep can greatly decrease a person's work efficiency.
Lack of sleep can greatly decrease the person's efficiency.
She has made rapid progress in the study of philosophy.
She has made rapid progress in the study of philosophy.
Students on the full-time course are usually sponsored here.
Students in the full-time course are usually sponsored here.
Water pollution poses a major threat to the food chain and human health.
Water pollution causes a major threat to the food chain and human health.
The book deals with the interface between accountancy and law.
The book deals with the interface of accountancy and law.
The chairman is persuading the committee to agree with his opinion.
The chairman is persuading the committee to argue his commitment. The line graph represents consumption of fast food by Australian teenagers. The x-axis represents year from 1975 to 2000 and the y-axis represents number of times each year per year. The highest pizza was eaten in the year 2000, which is more than 80 per year, and the lowest was in the year 1975. On the other hand, the highest fish and chips was in the year 1975, which is 100, and the lowest was in the year 2000, which is less than 40. The highest number of hamburgers was in the year 2000 and the lowest was in 1975, being less than 20. The bar graph represents fuel consumption. It consists of kerosene liters per passengers and also 100 kilometer and also about the German year fleet and annual average. The x-axis represents year from 1990 to 2014 and the y-axis represents liter per passenger in 100 kilometer. The highest was seen in the year 1990, which is 6.3 liters per 100 kilometer, and the lowest was seen in year 2009, which is 4.02, which is followed by 2010, 2011, and 2012, and the lowest was seen in the year 2013 being 3.68. The pie chart represents government receipts. It consists of other, council tax, business rates, VAT, corporation tax and excise duty. The highest category is the income tax, which is 150 billion pound, and the lowest category is council tax, which is 25 billion. Total receipts is at 548 billion pound. Moreover, excise duties is at 46 billion, corporation tax is at 43 billion, and national insurance is at 99 billion, being the second highest. The picture gives information about the writing processes. It consists of several steps. The first step is topic selection, in which foundation of writing processes. After that, proofreading is done and the checking is also performed. Third step is revision and editing. Fourth step is writing and integration. Fifth step is data collection, gathering the evidence. After that, extensive literature review is done and theoretical in the theoretical basis. After that, outlining and structure development is done in the clear basis. Finally, preliminary research is done and understanding of the background and current state. Overall, it is informative about topic selection. The map gives information about mobile anti-malware market growth rate by region from the year 2019 to 2024. The highest number of anti-malware market can be seen in the Asia and the Australia. Asian countries include India, China, Korea and Japan. The medium malware market growth can be seen in the South America and North America, also in the Europe. Moreover, the lowest market growth rate can be seen in the Africa and some Southeast Asian countries like African, Ghana and the South Africa. Overall, it is about
Many patients acquire the allergy label as children when a rash appears after they're treated for an infection with penicillin or closely related drugs. The rash is often blamed on penicillin, while the more likely culprit is the original infection, or a reaction between the infection and the antibiotic. However, genuine penicillin allergies, where our immune systems mistake penicillin for an attacker, do occur rarely and can be very dangerous. So if you think you're allergic but don't know for sure, your best bet is to visit an allergist. They'll complete an evaluation that'll confirm whether or not you have the allergy. Even if you do have a penicillin allergy, your immune cells that react to the drug may lose their ability to recognize it. In fact, about 80% of people who are allergic to penicillin outgrow their allergy within 10 years. This is great news for people who currently identify as allergic to penicillin, the drug may one day save their lives, as it has done for so many others.
The lecture was mainly about the allergy level in children and the role of allergy in the human health. Firstly, the speaker mentioned the medicine which is called penicillin. He further discussed rash and reaction between antibiotics and antigens. Additionally, he highlighted we need to visit anti-allergist to confirm whether we have got allergy or not. Moreover, he presented immune cells and role of it to prevent from allergy. Towards the end, the speaker said that 80% of allergy to penicillin can be treated, and also they can be antibiotics and the antigen. To conclude, the lecture was mainly about saving the life with the use of penicillin.
Today, the US power grid is the world's largest machine. It contains more than 7,300 electricity-generating plants, linked by some 11 million kilometers of power lines, transformers, and substations. Power grids span Earth's continents, transmitting electricity around the clock. They're massive feats of engineering, but their functioning depends on a delicate balance. Their components must always work in unison, maintain a constant frequency throughout the grid, and match energy supply with demand. If there's too much electricity in the system, you get unsafe power spikes that can overheat and damage equipment. Too little electricity, and you get blackouts. So, to strike this balance, power grid operators monitor the grid from sophisticated control centers. They forecast energy demand and adjust which power plants are active, signaling them to turn their output up or down to precisely meet current demand. By considering factors like the availability and cost of energy resources, grid operators create a dispatch curve, which maps out the order in which energy sources will be used. The grid defaults to using energy from the start of the curve first. Usually the resources are ordered by price. Those at the start tend to be renewables because they have much lower production costs.
The lecture was mainly about United States power grid, which is the world's largest power source. Firstly, the speaker mentioned about power lines and the transformer. He further discussed transmitting electricity and maintaining constant frequency. Moreover, he presented unsafe power spike and overheating and damages the power and electricity. Additionally, he highlighted forecasting energy demand. Towards the end, the speaker said that ability and cost of energy and resources. Overall, the lecture was mainly about starting tend to be renewable energy and the role of the power grid in the United States.
Three students are debating whether universities should implement mandatory mental health days during each semester.
Mental health days are absolutely necessary. The pressure during midterms nearly broke me last semester. My psychology professor says structured breaks enhance long-term retention. If we truly value student well-being over performative productivity, this is the most concrete step the university can take to prove it.
This coddles students instead of preparing them for real-world pressures. Employers won't give you mental health days when deadlines loom. We need to build resilience, not create more accommodations that delay inevitable stresses. The solution is teaching practical coping mechanisms that students can use throughout their careers without special treatment.
I see value in both perspectives. Maybe instead of blanket days off, universities could offer flexible wellness options, like allowing excused absences for counseling appointments or hosting stress management workshops that count toward course participation. A hybrid approach acknowledges diverse needs while maintaining accountability.
But voluntary programs don't reach everyone who needs them. Making it mandatory ensures no one feels stigmatized for taking time. Over 60% of students report overwhelming anxiety during semester. This is a health crisis, not coddling. When a survey shows suicide ideation rates doubling in a decade, calling it basic self-care coddling is dangerously outdated.
Real resilience comes from learning to manage stress within existing frameworks. What about students who will use these days to party or procrastinate? This undermines academic rigor. Better to improve access to counselling without lowering standards. If we normalise taking responsibilities for mental health, we're setting people up for failure in workplaces that won't accommodate this mentality.
What if we pilot it strategically? Designate one day per semester as a wellness day, with optional programming like yoga and therapy dogs, but also quiet study spaces. We could even collect data during the pilot to compare GPA and retention rates before and after implementation.
I'd compromise on that model if professors couldn't assign due dates right after the wellness day. And we need guaranteed mental health amnesty. No penalties for missing class that day, no matter the course policy.
Still think it's unnecessary, but if it doesn't disrupt academic calendar significantly, I wouldn't oppose it. Though I insist any such program must include mandatory workshops on time management and resilience building, not just a free day off.
Let's gather student signatures and present a Wellness Day proposal to the Dean of Students next week. I'll draft the proposal with tiered options, from full wellness days to integrated stress management modules, so we have data-driven solutions for every concern.
The discussion was mainly about mental health days. There were 3 speakers in the discussion. The first speaker talked about breaking enhanced benefit and volunteer programs. He also explained about 60% students feel anxiety and also suicide rates are increasing in the decade. Moreover, the speaker talked about wellness day and no penalty for missing the classes. After that, the second speaker focused on building resilience, teaching practical techniques to students to cope with the stress, also learning to manage stresses, improve counseling and failure in workplaces. Moreover, the speaker also explained about mandatory workshop for the students. The third speaker agreed with what was said. She shared information on flexible wellness option like counseling program and 1 day per semester as for the mental health day. Also talked about the GPA. She shared information of wellness day proposal and she provided details about the stress management and also proposed about the state management modules. Overall, the discussion was mainly about mental health day for the students in the university life, which helps to manage their stress and make them better in the mental health and physical health.
Three students are discussing whether to restrict students' phone use on campus.
Hey guys, did you hear Professor Wang is pushing for phone restrictions in class and the library? I'm all for it. Last week in math class, half the people were scrolling TikTok under their desks. Professor had to stop teaching 3 times to remind us. If phones are banned, we'd actually focus, and I bet my grades would go up.
Totally agree. I was in the library yesterday trying to write a paper, but the girl next to me kept taking video calls. So annoying. Phones are such a distraction. I even catch myself checking messages when I'm supposed to be studying. Restrictions would help us stay on track, and maybe we talk more with classmates instead of staring at screens.
Wait, isn't that too strict? What if there's an emergency? My mom has a heart condition, and she needs to reach me anytime. Last month, she had to go to the hospital, and she texted me during class. I would have panicked if I didn't see it. Plus, phones are useful for studying.
I get the emergency part, but maybe we could keep phones on silent and only use them outside if needed? Like, step out of class to take a call. And for studying, flashcards are great. But do you really need your phone the whole time?
Exactly. Emergencies are rare, and stepping out solves that. As for study apps, you could use them before class or during breaks instead of in the library. My cousin's school has phone lockers in classrooms. You put your phone in at the start, get it back after. She said it was weird at first, but now she loves how focused everyone is.
Lockers sound okay, but what about when I need to use my phone for class? Last week, Professor Lee had us look up an article on our phones during lecture. If they're locked up, we can't do that. And what if I forget something at home? I text my roommate to bring it, which I can't do if my phone's restricted.
Oh, right. Class uses. Maybe the rule could be no non-study phone use instead of total restriction? Like, you can use it for articles or apps the professor assigns, but no scrolling. That way, you still have it for emergencies and school stuff, but not distractions.
That makes sense. My friend's class has that rule. Professor walks around, and if you're on social media, you have to put your phone away. It works because it's not a total ban, just limits the bad stuff. We could suggest that to Professor Wang. She's always asking for student input.
Thanks, guys. I was worried about emergencies, but no non-study use fixes that. I'll even try putting my phone on Do Not Disturb during study time this week to test it. Let's talk to Professor Wang together tomorrow. Maybe we can help make a rule that works for everyone.
The discussion was mainly about phone use in campus. There were 3 speakers in the discussion. The first speaker discussed about scrolling TikTok in math class, grading increases, keeping phone in the silent. This speaker also talked about step out classes to take call, and also about no non-study phone use, and towards the end the speaker said school stuff. After that, the second speaker focused on video calls, distractions in the class, checking messages, and talking with the classmates. He also explained about studying apps focused in study, put phone in locker. This speaker also talked about social media, professor, and the student input. The third speaker agreed with what was said. He shared information on emergency condition. The phone will be useful, and phone can also be used for studying materials. Also talked about the articles in the phone, and also phone need to put phone in the do not disturb mode so that anyone cannot be distracted by the phone call and the ringtone. Towards the end, they talk about making rule and meeting the Professor Wang. Overall, the discussion was mainly about advantage and disadvantage of bringing phone in the campus.
You and your friends are planning a vacation. Someone suggests going to a faraway foreign country, but you realize one friend might have a fear of flying and some of them have a relatively tight budget. You need to carefully propose an alternative suggestion to ensure everyone can enjoy the trip. What would you say to your friends?
Hi friends, how are you today? I hope you are doing well. Firstly, I would like to inform you that me and my friends are planning a vacation. Secondly, someone suggested going to faraway foreign country, but I realize one friend might have a fear of flying and some of them have a relatively tight budget. Therefore, I need to carefully propose an alternative suggestion to ensure everyone can enjoy the trip. I really hope that you will understand this situation, and I'm looking forward to a positive outcome.
You've been feeling overwhelmed with work and personal commitments lately, realizing you need a better balance. You decide to speak with your manager about adjusting your workload or finding a more flexible working arrangement to manage stress and maintain productivity without compromising the quality of your work. What would you say to your boss?
Hello boss, how are you today? I hope you are doing well. Firstly, I would like to inform you that I have been feeling overwhelmed with my work and personal commitments lately. Secondly, I need a better balance. I really hope that you will understand this situation because I have decided to speak with you and about adjusting my workload or finding a more flexible working arrangement to manage stress and maintain productivity without compromising the quality of my work. I really hope that you will understand this situation and you will give me some vacation from my work so that I can increase my productivity and the better result can be seen in my work and the personal life. Yes guys, thank you for watching this. I will upload the result in the thumbnail, sorry, how much I got. Thank you.